withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you, aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment time. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of free of cost. What I mean by the word e-Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is e-Kailasa. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model community. Kailasas, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Peethas all over the world. All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth. Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected.
All of us are ecosystem.
I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you.
We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity will happen to the whole planet. We all have to coexist together.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. Just don't die within next 3 years. Be alive. Somehow be alive. I'm working sincerely. I will reach you somehow. Somehow I will reach you. It's my commitment to humanity. Just don't die within next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. You manifesting the space, state, powers, being Paramashivoham. It is possible, and it is possible for you. Paramashivoham will reach you with enlightenment science. I know he is going to do the job. Just be alive for next 3 years. Nothing else.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become Ekailashians.
I want the whole world to know Hindu something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
E-Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. E-Kailasa is enlightenment enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity. Withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness, we can support you, aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment time. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost. What I mean by the word e-Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is e-Kailasa.
I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model community. Kailasa, enlightenment, Sarvanya Peethas all over the world.
Paraprima, she has to put mute there. I can't be. After I leave this, 6 o'clock. Okay. Nithyanandam, welcome back to this segment of the Kailasa's de facto spiritual embassies, Kailasa's COVID care protection centers. Now, let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasugadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. Nithyanandam. So what we learn from the segment today concerning statistics on the mental health and global peace across the world due to COVID-19, not just the physical health, and what are the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's contributions to combat COVID-19 and the global peace. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's spiritual solutions for COVID-19 and Kailasa's COVID care protection centers. The crisis that we are under today around the world are trying to grapple with the grim reality that the pandemic is far from over. The aftermath of the current calamity promises to be much more devastating. The greatest economics of the world are facing disastrous futures. Countries are facing off each other in deep mistrust. Now, let us see some of the statistics and the current news. The record high cases in Australia amid the third wave of COVID-19. Australia reported a new record number of coronavirus cases, which resulted in 2,400 new locally acquired infections reported nationwide recently, and the figures are passing 2,000 in a single day just for the second time. The World Health Organization recently said that the Delta variant of coronavirus has elbowed out all the 3 other COVID-19 variants of concern that now represent the tiny fraction of the samples which are being sequenced. That is, less than 1% of alpha, beta, and gamma are currently circulating. It is really predominantly Delta around the world. COVID-19 has killed more Americans than the influenza pandemic of 1918 to 19 did. The 1918 to 19 influenza pandemic infected about 25% of Americans and killed an estimated 0.65% with 675,000 deaths. And COVID-19 has infected more than 12% of Americans and killed about 0.2% with 676,000 deaths. Now that the US death toll from COVID-19 has surpassed 676,000, the coronavirus pandemic has killed more Americans than the 1918 to 19 influenza pandemic did. Axios and the Associated Press both reported the grim milestone recently. So now COVID-19 pandemic is now officially US deadliest pandemic as the death toll crosses that of 1918 to 19 influenza pandemic. People infected with the alpha variant exhales 100 times more virus into the air than the original COVID strain. 6 feet distance may not be enough to prevent viral transmission indoors. According to a study, the physical distancing of 2 meters, about 6.5 feet, may not be enough to sufficiently prevent transmission of virus carrying airborne aerosols indoors. According to a study, the results published in the journal Sustainable Cities and Society suggest that the physical distance alone is not enough to prevent human exposure to exhaled aerosols and should be implemented with other control strategies such as masking and adequate ventilation. COVID-19 Delta variant still most concerning, says the World Health Organization's expert. Even with the emergence of the new COVID-19 variant, the Delta strain remains the top concern globally, appearing to outcompete others. In US, the COVID-19 pandemic is nowhere under control, says the chief medical advisor, Anthony Fauci. He said, right now we are still in pandemic mode because we have 160,000 infections a day. That's not even modestly in good control. In an interview with Axios, the US has reported 40 million cases of COVID-19 since the outbreak of the virus, with over 4 million infections adding up in a few weeks. The increase in COVID-19 cases comes as the US administration earlier this month announced that it is planning to provide booster shots of the vaccine as the Delta variant has become dominant in the nation and is wreaking havoc. The surge in Delta variant is driven by the low vaccination coverage in many communities across the US, according to the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. In a country of our size, you can be hanging around and having 100,000 infections a day. You have got to get well below 10,000 before you start feeling comfortable, Mr. Fauci added. COVID-19 made the world less peaceful with the increased violent incidences and fatalities since January 2020. The younger adults are more likely to report symptoms of anxiety and a depressive disorder during the COVID-19 pandemic. Average share of adults reporting symptoms of anxiety disorder and a depressive disorder, what it was in 6 months period of January to June in 6 months period of 2019 was 11%. Now, in just 1 month of January 2021, it rose up to 41.1%. There's some more statistics concerning the same, that the anxiety and depressive disorders during the COVID-19 pandemic showing same that younger adults are reporting more than the older adults. Stress in America and a national mental health crisis. Nearly 8 in 10, which is 6%, say the coronavirus pandemic is a significant source of stress in their life. Nearly 7 in 10, which is 67%, say during the China's COVID-19 outbreak, 50% showed signs of depression and 45% showed signs of anxiety. The self-reported mental health among pregnant women and new mothers. Before the COVID-19 pandemic, the depression rate was 15%, and now during this pandemic, the depression rose up to 40.7%. And the anxiety in new mothers and pregnant women was, before the pandemic, was 29%. Now, during the pandemic, it rose up to 72%. Living under stay-at-home orders, 8 in 10 students are struggling with focus on school or work and avoiding distractions. 55% of all students do not know where to go for help for their mental health. Understanding the pandemic's impact on working women, nearly 82% of women surveyed said their lives have been negatively disrupted by the pandemic. Nearly 70% of women who have experienced these disruptions are concerned their career growth may be limited as a result. The global economic outlook during the COVID-19 pandemic, a changed world. The pandemic is expected to plunge most countries into recession, with per capita income contracting in the largest fraction of countries globally since 1870. International Labour Organization, COVID-19 is a threat to peace building in conflict affected nations. The COVID-19 crisis has worsened already fragile situations. The ILO is more aware than ever of its responsibility to promote peace and resilience in the time of this global pandemic. The Mumbai mayor says the third wave is already here. Breakthrough infections found in 25% of health staff. A new COVID-19 variant Mu shows signs of vaccine resistance. Now, we have seen these statistics and the grim reality that we are under in. Not only COVID-19 pandemic, its deadliest pandemic declared officially in the United States, it is the physical health, increased fatalities, concerning statistics, especially on the younger adults, on the mental health, and it is leading to global peace. It leading to concerning statistics on the state of global peace, affecting the global peace. So how do we cope up with the current COVID-19 pandemic? It is important to address the COVID pandemic, which is seeing another wave, destroying many more lives. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says the pandemic fatigue is setting in as a result of continuous lockdown, resulting in delusional ignorance. Holding on to the delusion and supporting this pace of delusional decisions leads to delusional arrogance, Throbhava Sankalpa. Continuous lockdown leads to delusional thoughts like, so what, if I die, it's okay. I can't live forever in this lockdown. Going out and then exposing oneself and putting the risk on yourself and others with irresponsibility and insensitivity is the delusional arrogance. The global COVID virus pandemic has left the whole world desperately looking for answers as it had been experienced even back in February 2020 is no longer recognizable. A drastic change is the order of the day, with people having to redefine their world with new paradigms of economy, society, faith, religion, and health. Blessed are those who have had the greatest fortune to be with the incarnation of Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, in their lives and to carry them through this crisis. If you are in India, join the Kailasa's COVID Care Protection Centers with the link https://kailasa.org/Kailasa Care. Sustainable developmental goals. Making peace with nature is possible if we start now. Even amid COVID pandemic, 2021 can go down as the year we made peace with nature to set the planet to healing. Our environmental, social, and economic challenges are interlinked. They must be tackled together. For example, we can achieve the sustainable developmental goals, including ending poverty, by 2030 if climate change and ecosystem collapse are undermining food and water supplies in the world's poorest countries. We have no choice but to transform our economics and societies by valuing nature and putting its health at the heart of all our decisions. Now let's watch a small clip on making peace with the nature. The World Health Organization Health and Peace Initiative. Health and peace are interlinked. In the words of the Director General of World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros, there cannot be health without peace, and there cannot be peace without health. United States Institute of Peace. Amid COVID, we need enhanced international coordination to build peace. Tackling the pandemic and building resilience in fragile states requires concerted international action at local, national, and global levels. Stronger health systems and universal health coverage must be a priority. Remarks to the General Assembly special session in response to the COVID-19. For the first time since 1945, the entire world is confronted by a common threat, regardless of nationality, ethnicity, or faith. A new social contract between people, governments, and the private sector, civil society, and more can tackle the roots of inequality with fair taxation on income and wealth, universal benefits, and opportunities for all. Now let us see what are the contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for the global peace. International peace and security. Vedic tradition beautifully describes Yastu sarvani bhutani atmani ivanu pashyati sarva bhuteshu chatmanam tadona vigugupshate. Verse from Isha Upanishad. Global peace is the byproduct of the individual bliss. Whenever an individual goes through a spiritual bliss, he manifests a beautiful, peaceful life for him and everyone around him. If he is powerful enough, he moves the whole city and manifests peace. He is more powerful, he moves the whole village or whole country. If he is powerful enough, like incarnations, he moves the whole world and manifests peace for them. Individual bliss is the source of for the global peace in the level of Om, the microscopic level Om, or the macroscopic level, whatever level it is. It may be, global peace is the byproduct of the individual bliss. Now let's watch the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, that self-transformation.
Social answer means I'll tell, oh, you should all work for global peace. You should all work for turning the world. You should work for revolution. You should work for all these, that things. You should vote only the party which says that it will stop the war and all these things. This is the social answer. Nonsense. If you want the honest answer, I tell you, simply transform yourself. You can't do anything. If at all you can do, you would have done it. Be honest. If you can do, you would have done it. You are raising this question because you are not able to do. Am I right? So let us be very clear. Let us be honest. We are not able to do. Socially. That's the truth. That's the reason you are sitting here and raising the question. I tell you, understand few important things. There are a lot more attached to this question. There are many things which is attached to this question. We always feel the present is the world is totally spoiled. It is not going according to the rules or how it is supposed to be. It was wonderful once upon a time. In ancient time, things were going properly. Everything was well. And I tell you, 10,000 years ago, they found some writings on stone in Harappa Mohenjo-daro culture. Some stone writings have been discovered. The other day I read a beautiful book about that stone writings. That writings, it says, oh, nowadays the society is not as it should be. So much of war, there is no peace.
In the early times, there was so much of peace. Society was really great. Things were as it should be. And it almost looks like a today newspaper editorial. Same thing carved on a stone. Then understand, there was no such time as only good prevailed. It is just a fantasy. Hinduism, they call it Satya Yuga, the age of truth. There was a time only truth prevailed. And every religion, Christianity, they say Garden of Adam and Eve. There was a time, wonderful. Every religion has got the fantasy. The past was great. There was golden past. Always the idea of golden past exists only in the past. The more you go back, again you say the past was great. And I tell you one thing, it is a wonderful way of postponing accepting the reality. Otherwise, I can be sure the world was same as it is today. Whether it is 5,000 years ago or 10,000 years ago. Maybe one thing, there was no CNN channel that time. So the news did not reach you so quickly. That's all. The news did not reach you so quickly. That may be the only difference. But otherwise I can be sure the good and the bad was equal. Good and the bad was equal. The same amount of wars were there. All the other things were there. If you read the Puranas, the mythological stories of India, you see enough of things. Enough of dirty things. I think sometimes I find little more. And if you read completely the Puranas or the Hindu scriptures, there are a lot of things much worse than modern day. The criminal activities or bad things or negative things, whatever you say, all this stuff. And never think only present day is corrupted or violent. In the ancient days also, all these things were there. Only one thing was not there, the CNN news or the internet. So the news did not reach you. But otherwise I can tell you, enough the good and bad was there. It always will exist. It will exist. All you can do is, if you awaken yourself, if you reach the enlightenment state, you can go beyond it. And I tell you, enlightenment is the only service you can do to the society. Just become enlightened so that you will reduce the negativity. Now, as of now, you are also the part of negative group. Naturally, we will be a negative group. As long as we are unenlightened, we will be the part of collective negative consciousness. So if you become enlightened, at least you will reduce your weight. That's the only thing we can do. Nothing else can be done. So all I request you to do is just become enlightened. Realize that you are a lion. That's the only way to help yourself and the society. Otherwise, all revolutions, you see, all revolution again end up as one more tradition. In last 2000 years, 3000 wars have happened in the humanity. In 2000 years, 3000 wars. Human beings have not done anything except doing wars, except fighting. Everybody claims he wants to do revolution. He wants to spread peace. You see, every country claims their army is a defensive army. Then who is offending? Tell me. Every country says defensive army. Then who is offending? These are all just, games. The idea of peace is a pure game. Everybody wants to spread the peace according to them. They want peace according to them. The other day I was in one interreligious gathering. One guy is preaching, let all of you convert to my religion so that we will not have fight. He wants peace the way in which he wanted, not the way in which. And there's a beautiful saying, the sword of Muhammad, it is written, peace alone should survive. Something like that. He has written some statement about the peace on the sword. We all take sword to spread the peace. So no revolution is going to help, because in last 2000 years, 3000 revolutions have happened, but still world is same. I think much worse. So no revolution is going to help. Only individual evolution is going to help. So be very clear. Instead of working in the outer world, start working in the inner world. That will help you and society some way.
Now, let us see Kailasa's mission of global peace and super consciousness breakthrough. The sovereign order of Kailasa, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Nithyananda order of monks and nuns, and Hindu diaspora are working for global peace and to give a super consciousness breakthrough to humanity. It is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's mission to revive a conscious world where the global issues at the climate, economic, social, health, and humanitarian levels cease to exist from their very root, turning the problems of poverty, hunger, violence, discrimination into powerful living through the experience of oneness. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been working from the very grassroots level to usher in an era of peace at all levels: individual, social, societal, national, and global. His deep insights into the workings of the human mind, body, emotions have enabled him to powerfully and directly address various social and emotional problems facing humanity today. Some of the ways the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism provides spiritual solutions to combat the pandemic and other issues. Since the beginning of the global lockdown, the amount of vision, the activism, the Kailasa has increased multifold through the Paramashivoham program, bringing super consciousness breakthrough to the whole humanity by starting the Akhanda Nirvikalpa Samadhi Jnana Yajna and contributing almost 3 million minutes now. Paramashiva Sankalpa chanting, the sacred Sanskrit mantra chanting to heal 24/7 via Zoom sessions. Spiritual healing to one and all 24/7. Helping humanity cope up with insecurity, fear, disease by empowering individuals to heal themselves, learn to cope up emotions like depression and tough situations in relationships, providing alternative solution to worldly problems through power manifestation. Spiritual healing to one and all 24/7, initiating thousands every day into manifesting innate superhuman capabilities in the Kailas Courtyard sessions, providing healthy solutions like a technique to clear from the Ayurveda solutions, which ultimately brings clarity out to the spiritual truth and give a conscious breakthrough. In the long term, establishing self-sufficient communities, continuing and intensifying the service of Annadan, that's free food in Nithyananda Annalayas around the world, including Tirunamalai and Los Angeles, paving way to the New World Order, starting the agriculture-based communities in Adi Kailas and several other locations. Peacekeepers of Kailasa offering various life solutions from the teachings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Hinduism prescribes various methods for global healing. One such is Maheshwara Puja, nullifying the collective negativity simply through the presence of the avatar and his order of monks, offering Maheshwara Puja to the natural calamities hit victims. Bhava Samadhi Darshan to raise the individual consciousness breakthrough. Devi Parashakti Akashic reading, the cosmic revelations. Society was created with the delusional ideas of too many human beings' blind spots and the decisions made from those blind spots. If the visionary of a civilization or country or nation has blind spots, when he develops the vision for it, the whole civilization suffers those blind spots forever. Now it's time that nature, Prakriti, resets itself. Many of the blind spots, based visions, ideas became important components of the society. This pralaya, which is happening, is melting down everything which is delusion based. The world, as we know, is gone. Let us celebrate God. This isolation, which is seemingly endless, with an unknown future, which is compelling humanity to make 100% lifestyle change, is something to be deeply dwelt upon. All problems need to be addressed only with spiritual solution and powerful cognitions. To stop people having mental breakdown, pandemic fatigue, collapsing, depression, destruction, and also give them super consciousness breakthrough and revive the enlightened civilization, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism continuously gives spiritual solutions and powerful cognitions. Some of the spiritual solutions are unclutching, practicing meditation, practicing completion, practicing oneness, practicing ajapa japa of Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, consciously building deep feeling connection, yoga, puja, vegetarian diet, nirahara samyama. The life solutions based on the ancient Hindu tradition, the meditation and yoga techniques from the scriptures, the cognitions rooted in the highest truth, the lifestyle based on living and radiating the higher values of life, and powerful way of living and realizing one's ultimate potential form the foundation of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's teachings, which by their inherent nature provide the foundation for peace on planet Earth. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has launched the Minutes for Peace initiative, which aim to reduce the crime globally by conducting mass meditations around the world in parallel. The total count logged in for the Minutes for Peace comes out to be a staggering 409 billion minutes for peace so far. Under the Red Om No Hunger Project, through the Annalayas, the de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa worldwide, under the guidance of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, has served over 2 million organic sattvic vegetarian meals so far. Giving free food to all the citizens is the economic policy of Kailasa, deriving the reference from Vedas and Agamas. And recently, under the humanitarian initiative launched by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, is opening Kailasa's COVID care centers in India, where the monastery campuses have been turned into a multi-layer quarantine facility to safeguard the inmates against any possible point of contact with the outer world. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has opened this service free to all people, regardless of any differences in age, breed, ethnicity, color, or socio food, shelter, internet, and all basic facilities, including medical care, are provided at these COVID care centers, free of cost and for an indefinite period of time. The outcome has been a splendid zero infection rate so far among the participants, a feat not achieved anywhere else in the world, let alone in India. This response model of handling the COVID-19 pandemic at its community level, along with the guidelines and recommendations for governments, has been recognized and accepted by the United Nations as well. You can see some of the glimpses of the Kailasa's COVID Care Protection Centers. So join the COVID Care Protection Centers. Register now with the link below, especially if you are in India. https://kailasa.org/Kailasa care. Now we'll be moving on to the next part of our segment, Maheshwara Puja, NTV course. Today, we're offering Maheshwara Puja to the departed souls, to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism at 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. IST. So we are going to get ready for the Maheshwara Puja after a very short break.